You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
You're not going to start out with your incredibly inappropriate starting?
No.
No, you sure?
No, I'm just going to say, hey, Rusties. This is episode 210 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for August 12th, 2018. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Josh.
And here's the theme tune.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus, a Borg.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
And we have so much to talk about, Josh.
We do.
So first of all, last week I was in the Sioux, so we didn't have a regular episode.
No.
We did have Josh's top 10 favorite movies of all time.
We did.
And it actually came out on your birthday.
It did.
So happy birthday, belated.
Thank you.
I forgot to text you because I was in the Sioux. Busy, doing stuff.
Not a problem.
So, got some comments about it on Twitter, actually.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did. And Mike, or Jarek, on Twitter, he was with you all the way until Johnny Mnemonic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I enjoy Johnny Mnemonic. I know it is a bad movie.
Yeah,
I've said that many times in there.
Yeah, there was several comments from different people, so...
Well, I will have to find a way to get on there and read the comments.
Yes,
you control the social media.
Because you don't do social media.
I don't do social media.
But you did have a good birthday, and everybody liked your list.
Oh, good.
And so that's a lot of fun. And you got a lot of good hunting equipment for your birthday, I hear?
I did. I got a good camp stove. I got a good hunting cap for my daughter. She didn't want me getting shot in the head.
That's important.
I got a bandolier for my shotgun shells. Mm-hmm. A nice new hard case, because last year my soft case ended up rubbing against my tire, and, I got a hole in my soft case.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then dirt got in there, and I had to clean my gun completely. That's terrible.
It just wasn't a very nice time.
No.
But
I did totally disassemble my gun out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, no disassemble.
I had to. Get all the dirt out.
Well, yeah, of course. All right. So that is last week's exciting news.
Yep.
Before we begin talking about all the pop culture goodness, one of our podcasting friends, the Play on Nerds podcast with Stephen German, this week are going to celebrate, finally, after all this time, episode 100. So a big congratulations to them from us.
Yeah, sweet. 100.
Yep.
You put in the effort.
They did. They started around the same time as us, but they were every 2 weeks or whatnot. So, and then Steve had a kid, and they had to stop for a while. But they're a great podcast, one of my favorites. And so congratulations, Stephen German.
Right. Good for you guys.
Yes. What else have we got to talk about? So many things, Josh. So many things.
We got a bit of a list.
We do have a bit of a list. All right, so lots of Star Trek news this week.
Let's deal with the sad stuff first. We'll deal with a minor sad thing and then the really sad thing. So you know who Nichelle Nichols is, of course. Yes.
Okay. Well, sad news about her. She didn't pass away, thank God. She has been diagnosed with progressive dementia.
Well, that is just terribly sad.
It was suspected for quite a while, because anecdotes from conventions and stuff from fans noticing that she's been losing concentration and that stuff. So she has all her long-term memories, but she has a hard time
forming new memories.
Yeah, keeping the short-term memories intact.
Well,
she's 85, so she's up there, but
it's still sad. I'd rather go quickly and with all my mind intact and go slowly with it fading away.
Well, that's right, because you don't even know what's happening. So, Yep, so that's Uhura from the original series. A very sad turn of events there. Great
lady.
Yes. Yep. Very groundbreaking trailblazer for the civil rights era black movement and all that good stuff.
She always seemed like the most competent on the bridge. Because Kirk and Spock were always like, okay, we're leaving the bridge, but you're in command. We're leaving the bridge.
Yes.
Sulu was always seemed too happy and hey.
Impulsive.
Yeah, and too smiley and happy to be professional on the bridge.
Chekhov too wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
Excitable like a puppy.
And everybody else is just no-named. And Scotty was occasionally up there, but what the hell are you doing up there? Get back to your engine room. You're the goddamn engineer. Mm-hmm. So, Uhura always seemed like I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be here. Y'all are supposed to be here too. Get back to work. Somebody who knew exactly what they're supposed to be doing, did their job well, and was confident.
Yes.
Everybody else seemed like they were sticking around.
Scatterbrained.
Yeah.
And as a person herself, you've seen her on TV and whatnot. She's a classy lady.
Oh, she's very classy.
Yeah. So it's very sad that this is happening to her.
It is.
We've got more sad news.
Fan dance.
Yeah, the fan dance from Star Trek V, right?
Yep.
Yes. Great singer as well, she was.
She was.
So, in other sad news, we do have a celebrity death to report. At the age of 92, Charlotte Rae passed away from bone cancer this past week. And you have no idea who that is. Okay. It's not really sci-fi related, but a big part of my childhood. She played Mrs. Garrett on The Facts of Life. She first appeared as the housekeeper on Different Strokes, and then...
is that from the series of cross...
spin-offs.
Spin-offs. The spin-off from a spin-off from a spin-off from a spin-off?
Right. Yeah. So I guess in 1978 she appeared as Edna Garrett, the housekeeper, and then she suggested to Norman Lear that they do a spin-off, which became The Facts of Life, and that was a long-running show. She was on that for years and years, and then in 86 she stepped down and Cloris Leachman took over as her sister, and then the show was cancelled 2 years later. But you never watched The Facts of Life.
No, see, okay, so...
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have The Facts of Life.
Now, I told you girls to work it out yourselves, and I mean it. So make up your minds to do it. Like each other. That's an order.
Yeah, no.
No, huh?
So you gotta remember, I was born in 81.
Yeah.
So the show had already been running.
For a while.
By the time I got into watching actual evening sitcoms, it's late 80s, early 90s, TGIF era.
And so you wouldn't have been watching the reruns from 5-10 years ago?
No.
Okay. Well,
that would have been daytime television at that point, and I would have been at school.
True enough. Okay. Well, I remember watching The Facts of Life like crazy. I was in love with Jo, who played by Nancy McKeon. She was the badass rebel biker chick. No idea, eh?
Not a clue.
Wow.
I've never seen a single frame of this show.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm surprised you haven't even heard of it.
I've heard of the show.
Okay.
I've heard of it, but it's like hearing about a show. Just the title.
Right. Well, see, Jo from Facts of Life, Winnie from The Wonder Years, and DJ from Full House were my three major crushes as a child. Are you looking up a picture of
I am,
who
but
Jo was?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're looking up Nancy McKeon.
Okay, let's talk about the Flopcast.
Where every week we drink a lot of coffee and we talk about comic books,
movies,
conventions,
music,
Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, don't forget the coffee.
Lots of weird, obscure pop culture stuff from the 70s and 80s.
And chickens. Yeah, chickens.
This will be the stupidest half hour of your week.
We guarantee it.
You can find us on the ESO network
and Flopcast.net.
Alright, she's okay.
Yeah, she wasn't, whatever. Yeah, you know. Anyway.
Alright.
So you have no...
I guess it's all personality on that one.
Yeah, there was something about her. She was like, I don't know, I can't really describe. This is going back 30 years to my boyhood crushes, right? So
yeah.
Who knows why it was. But anyway, we've lost Charlotte Rae, and that's very sad for...
I'm sad for her family, and her friends, and her fans.
Yeah, but she had a good life, she said, and she didn't want to have treatment for her disease because she wanted to live life to the fullest, and she just recently survived pancreatic cancer, and so she did her whole treatment and had her hair fall out, and she's like, for this round, no, I'm just going to live till the end. So when you're 92, you're 92, right? So
yeah. So
another acting icon of the bygone era gone. So that's very sad. Moving right along, we've got some casting news, Josh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know how to transition over because that was just all the sad stuff. Now we got to get to the good stuff. Remember a guy named Brent Spiner?
Oh, I've heard this name somewhere. Where have I heard it before? He played that guy that did that thing that time, right?
He did, and he did it well.
Yeah.
Yes. So most people will know him, of course, as Dr. Soong.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
From Enterprise.
Yes, from Enterprise.
Yes.
Eric Soong. Also, he was in a little-known TV series in the 80s and early 90s called Star Trek The Next Generation, where he played the robot, Data.
An android, not a robot. There's a clear distinction that we've had an argument about the show before.
Right, the android Data, as Dr. Pulaski would say.
Yes, but I hated Dr. Pulaski.
One is my name, the other is not.
Data, look at this.
Data.
What?
My name. It is pronounced Data.
Oh?
You called me Data.
What's the difference?
One is my name. The other is not.
Yes.
Yes. So he has been cast as the vice president in season 4 of Supergirl next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
That's cool. He's acting. He's doing stuff. Yeah. That's great. Yep.
Glad they can break out of his trap of a really high played character.
Yes.
It's like that affected Leonard Nimoy for a long time.
It did.
He was just, oh, well, you're Dr. Spock. We can't have you play this role.
Right.
You're Spock.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm an actor. I can act like I'm somebody else. No, you're Spock.
Well, he went actually from Star Trek right over to Mission Impossible, so he wasn't really that typecast, but...
You gotta remember, we gotta take into account that the popularity of Star Trek grew over time.
Yeah, of course, so then later on...
His roles just started shrinking until...
He moved into directing and stuff.
And then he had to break out of it as, like, well, I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna step into the thing and, like, yeah, I'll throw a little off to the side, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's Spock, yeah. But he's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, towards the end on, what's that show?
I don't know, what is that show?
The show at the end, it was the last roles he played.
On Fringe, he played Dr. William Bell.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finally fully broke out of it by the end.
Exactly. Yeah, so good for Brent Spiner.
Yep, glad to see him working.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of season 3 of Supergirl, or any of this season's past DC superhero shows, except for Black Lightning.
Because they're not on Netflix or whatnot, I have to seek them out, and that's hard to do on a regular basis.
It is. And they've been all over the place. They haven't been at a regular scheduled time every week, so I just missed them all and just said, whatever. But I liked them before. But, there's a DC superhero show coming out to the Arrowverse this coming year, apparently.
You mean the Super Legends Flareverse?
The Super Legends Flareverse, yes.
Oh,
yes,
we're gonna add a thing because Black Lightning didn't integrate.
Maybe it will eventually, but I don't know.
It looks like it's a different universe.
It kind of does. We have somebody, apparently she's famous, her name is Ruby Rose. I don't know who that is, but it's been all over the interwebs lately, and she is going to be lesbian Batwoman.
You could just say Batwoman.
No, they actually specifically said...
Yeah, well, Batwoman, the character, is a lesbian.
Right, but they had to point it out in all the articles that I read. Like, they were hammering it. Like, look we're inclusive, and we're diverse, and we've got everything here.
Okay, but that's her
character, as everybody knows.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, well, we're going to point out this character aspect. Like, this Batman, he's rich.
Right.
Like, yeah, that everybody knows it's Batman. That's part of his character. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
His parents died. Yeah, we know. Stop it. So, like, this is to make people like, oh, you're not being inclusive enough. But it's like, well,
they could have just said Ruby Rose is going to be Batwoman this coming year. But
then anybody can go, well, who is the character of Batwoman? She's not as known as Batman or whatnot. Because she's a spin-off character, basically. She's part of the Bat family.
Because it's not Batgirl. It's Batwoman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's not directly in the Bat family.
Okay.
She wasn't taken on as an apprentice. She wasn't taken on as a sidekick or partner until much later. She took on her whole identity, became an independent one, just basically copying Batman's theme in the same city.
Right.
And then joined up eventually.
Yeah, okay.
It's very complicated because how many times has it reset in the story? Exactly.
Too many times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, she's a lesbian. Why make a thing of it?
Because that's what everybody does now. They have to point it out.
But here's the thing. By making a thing of it, you're making it a special thing.
Exactly. They did it right in Star Trek Discovery, where we had a couple of gay characters, but it was no big deal.
Yeah.
They just were who they were.
In the movie
Beyond?
Yes. He went off with his gay husband and
daughter, and that was it.
Nobody paid him, not a bat of an eye.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah, because it's normal.
You don't point it out with a marquee and flashing lights. Hey, we got a gay guy here.
No, because you make it normal, and it's normal.
Inclusion for everybody.
So by making it something special is your virtue signaling.
That's exactly right.
I want her to be in there. I want her to be a lesbian character because that's what the character is.
Virtue
and just
signaling.
done.
I've been hearing a lot about this lately. It's like I went out and fed the homeless, but then I posted about it on Facebook. Yeah,
So-
how about you just do the thing and not say it that you did the thing, and just do it.
Yeah. Because then you're not doing it for the reason you should.
You're doing it for the recognition and for the pat on the back.
Yeah. And like, Supergirl's sister. She's a lesbian.
Alex.
Bisexual lesbian, we're not sure.
I missed all of this past season, but she was dating the cop lady.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name was because it's been too long since I've seen it. But
So, don't make a thing out of it. It was just, bam. Now they're having a relationship. You're having relationship troubles like any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You normalize it because it's normal.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't make too much of a thing out of it. No problems.
That's right. That's our soapbox for this week.
We got another one coming.
Yes, we do. But before that, remember? Do you know who Ruby Rose is?
No.
Me neither.
No idea.
But apparently she's famous.
I saw a picture of her. She's good looking. She'll fill out the suit.
Yeah.
She looks fit.
She does. She looks athletic.
She's not a skinny waif of a girl, so like she'll I think she'll look good as a. Hope they get you with the red hair.
Oh, does Batwoman have red hair?
She wears a bright red wig. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like her whole she wears red, bright red.
Right on.
It's to distract. It's like, well, she has red hair.
Okay.
Everybody knows this.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
I know very little about Batwoman.
The character actually has short hair, not really long red hair.
And in all the pictures that I've seen, Ruby Rose has short brown hair. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you remember how last weekend I went to Sault Ste. Marie?
I do. We talked about it at the very beginning of this episode.
We did. Good memory, Josh. The fact that Timmins lost their Hallmark last year means that if I want to get my Hallmark Christmas ornaments, I have to travel outside of our environs. So I did go to Sault Ste. Marie for the August long weekend, and I went to Hallmark, and I picked up the 3 ornaments that they've released so far this year. You know what they are?
No, I don't.
Oh, wow, let me tell you. First is the Starship Discovery.
Blank alert. Blank alert.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is the original series tricorder.
Oh, cool.
With lights and sounds.
Something Star Trek related. Cool.
Yep, very cool. And the third one is a scene from The Naked Time where Sulu has his sword and he's threatening Captain Kirk.
Where he's being a swashbuckler.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. So those are the 3 that I picked up.
The good Naked episode.
Yes. Yes, because The Naked Now is not a good episode.
No.
No. Maybe if they had done it in season 3 or 4, it would have been great.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Because the whole point is seeing the personalities of the characters that we've come to understand and know change.
Yeah.
Not episode, 2?
It was the one after the pilot.
Yeah, like, wow, okay. Yeah, you're jumping in. Like, didn't even go end of this season.
No.
Just
we don't know who
right
these are. Yeah, so let's do this. Yeah. So anyway, I got the 3 ornaments. Apparently there's going to be another one in October, I think. It's the, what is it? It's the Starship Enterprise NCC 1701.
No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Made out of metal. So this will be like the 3rd or 4th one.
Which one?
From the original series. Not made up fancy or anything like they did in Discovery. Just the original one, but just made out of metal.
Because there's the original series 1.
Yeah.
There's they screwed it up at the end of Discovery,
Yeah.
showing what a Constitution class looks like there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the one from the movies.
Yes.
So there's 3 different versions of the 1701, but there's only one proper version.
And it's actually different from the Cage to the Kirk series.
Well, that's okay because
but it's similar enough.
Yeah, it's also that's the same ship, but it's been retrofitted, and we don't get to know it until
right.
So we see the retrofit version.
Yes, we do. Yep. So that's supposed to come out in October, and I'm going to have to get somebody to pick it up for me. Probably my brothers.
Yeah, that's it. Don't they live out there?
And I didn't go to San Diego Comic-Con last week.
No.
I could have got the convention exclusive Hallmark ornament, which was an animated series, 2 characters. I think it was the guy with the 3 arms, the one out of his chest, standing beside the cat girl, Maress, I think. So that was an exclusive. So I have 95% of all the Star Trek Hallmark ornaments, but I don't have any convention exclusives. And I think I'm missing Riker. But I have most of them.
I was going to say, like, That doesn't sound like a big appeal to me.
That particular ornament?
Yeah.
That's what most people are saying. Good thing it's a convention exclusive, because I don't care about this animated series crap.
Well, it's not even like a prominent character or a big story character.
No, it's two secondary characters that they made it for the show.
Exactly, and it's... we don't even get to... we don't have any stories revolving around them.
There might be, but I don't know the animated series well enough. But I don't believe so.
I don't believe so, no.
No. Like, I have that series on DVD, and I've watched...
It's also on Netflix.
Is it on? Yeah, it is on Netflix. Yeah, and I've watched most of it, but I don't know if I've seen all of them, because I don't care that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my collectible of the week discussion. I got some Star Trek stuff. It's exciting.
All right.
Okay, so do we want to play a trailer before we talk about the big Star Trek stuff?
We'll do a trailer, yeah.
Let's do a trailer. Which trailer should we do? There was only one.
There's only one that we really had that looked like anything this week.
Slaughterhouse Rulez?
Slaughterhouse Rulez.
There's something in the woods.
Did you get my note about the no-go areas? I cannot have pupils wandering about in the middle of the night. These things always end up in a bloody mess. Welcome all to Slaughterhouse.
This is the school pecking order. At the top, we have the bat. In the middle, cleanse the alliance.
Watch where you're looking.
And then down at the bottom, Wooten.
Who's Wooten?
That's Wooten.
I'm afraid Mr. Pegg will be unable to teach today or ever again. He died here. Alone. Anyway.
There's something in the woods.
What the devil?
That hole is a gateway. And it leads straight down to hell.
Now, who wants to buy some drugs? They just ate half the upper sink.
Now we can blow shit up.
Language, Wooten!
Children, save yourselves! To the schooner!
Hooray! All right, I'm going as fast as I can. You're making me nervous!
Seatbelts, everyone.
Stop worrying. What they're gonna do? Eat you alive.
Delicious.
Okay, so that was the trailer for Slaughterhouse Rulez.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. Looks like it's going to be a good, funny movie. I think it's going to be a theater go.
Yeah, eh?
I like Simon Pegg movies a lot, and...
What's the story behind this? I didn't really understand.
It takes place in a boarding school.
Yep.
And crazy crap is happening. That's all you really need to know. They don't want to give too much of the story away.
They didn't give much away, right? It was just crazy crap.
So there's your standard high school social pecking order stuff, and then there's monsters. And that's all they want to tell you in the trailers. The rest of it, you have to go watch the movie to see.
Do you think it's a social commentary?
Probably. All of his films have been so far.
Yeah.
But I do believe this is based on some sort of source material.
Is Edgar Wright directing? Did we see that in the trailer?
I did not see that in the trailer.
We didn't look it up.
No, we didn't look it up because
we don't do that.
We don't research things that are important. We look up 80s sitcom characters in the middle of the show, though.
Yeah, but I'm going to edit out that 2 minutes of silence out.
Well, yeah, but I still looked it up.
Yeah, we did. We did look it up. And I will look up Slaughterhouse Rulez right here. Let's see what we got. We've got... here's the thing right here. We've got... An illustrious British boarding school becomes a bloody battleground when a mysterious sinkhole appears at a nearby fracking site.
I think we're fracked. I can't see any fracking way we can survive this fracking assault.
Unleashing unspeakable horror. Gotta watch out for that unspeakable horror. Simon Pegg, Hermione Corfield, we have Michael Sheen, we have Finn Cole, we have Asa Butterfield, Nick Frost, Jamie Blackley, Jessa somebody, other people that I haven't heard of, and names I can't pronounce. Director is Crispian Mills, so it has nothing to do with Edgar Wright. Did you know that the school's motto is shown to be Per Catus ad Astra, which is Latin for through bloodshed to the stars?
Neat. It doesn't say source material? Original screenplay or...
Nope, but it does say it's coming out in the UK on Halloween.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking?
No.
I'm thinking Slaughterhouse 5.
That's a different movie from 1972.
Yeah, but it's based on the Kurt Vonnegut novel.
It is.
That's why I thought there was a source material.
Oh, I understand. No, this is looking like
No.
original material.
Yeah.
Imagine that, original material coming out of the movie industry.
What?
I know, shocker.
So we should move on to the next one.
Is there any other little piddly things in pop culture that we can talk about?
Not really. There's a bunch of controversies flowing every which way.
Oh yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Star Trek 4, the film that is going to be the first female-directed Star Trek film.
Okay.
It's still on schedule. However, contract talks have broken down with the two Chris's, Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
What's happening? They don't know. They want more money based on their A-list status, but Paramount doesn't want to pay that much because Star Trek Beyond didn't make as much money as they had hoped for.
Because it was bad?
It wasn't bad, actually. It was way better than Into Darkness. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, but you can't... It was better than does not make it good.
It
just means...
I liked it. But anyway...
It was not as bad as the previous outings, so...
Right. Fair enough.
It didn't draw more people in.
It did not draw more people, but they still want to do it. Who knows what's going to happen? Are they going to have to rewrite the script? Are they going to do a show without the two Chris's? Is that possible? Are people going to go see it? Is that going to put butts in seats? I don't know.
So Chris Pine you really can't do without. He's the new Kirk.
Right. Are they going to recast him?
They can't recast
They
him.
can't recast him.
No.
And it was supposed to be a time travel adventure with the dad who died in the first movie in the first 10 minutes. Spoiler alert from 10 years ago. But
yeah,
what's going to happen now? We don't know, but they're still on track.
But Hemsworth is a big star.
He's huge. He's Thor. He can't get bigger than Thor.
Yeah, he's riding high on that Disney money.
Yes.
So if you want him to come in and do your movie, and he doesn't feel like doing your movie for cheap,
right?
You got to pay the man.
Got to pay the man.
He's got the right to go. Like, you want me back for this thing that didn't do well?
Right. So we will keep our listeners informed as information becomes available. But according to the article I read, contract talks have stalled. We don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to recast? Are they going to write them out? We don't know. But when we know, you'll know.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Chris Hemsworth as Thor, this coming Tuesday, Infinity War gets released on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K Ultra.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. And the week after, Deadpool, bigger uncut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like to see the Deadpool uncut.
That's the one I'm saving my money for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that is everything that we needed to talk about. I think that's the end of our episode, Josh.
No.
Is there more?
There's more.
Is there something big and huge that has been all over social media for the last week and a half?
There is.
There is. It's been on every second post on Facebook that I've seen.
Yep.
It's on regular news.
Yep.
And I don't know if we should discuss it because probably our listeners already know all about it, right?
Yeah, and it's full of controversy.
It is. You're right. That is true. So
She-Ra.
Yes. Tell me more about She-Ra, and they're remaking it, right?
They are remaking it. But this isn't the thing we're alluding to. But yeah, there's actually a huge controversy around it. The characters have been redesigned, and I don't like the art style they're going for.
Yeah, it's that new crap, right, that they do?
Yeah. But the thing that people have been getting upset about is new people are like, well, it's not for the old audience. But then why are you remaking She-Ra, basically? I don't care because it just doesn't look good to me.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same. It's not as realistic as it was back in the day.
Even
like the faces, I mean. Like
even that, it's just I don't like that new style.
Me neither. It's not. Oh, speaking of new style, have you seen Final Space on Netflix?
I have.
I watched the first episode the other night. It's hilarious, Captain Gary.
Yeah,
you're not a captain. You're a prisoner. I'm Captain Gary.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
It's got voices of Fred Armisen and David Tennant.
Yep.
Among others.
Yep. It's good. Keep watching.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I've watched most of it. I got like 2 episodes left.
Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up before I forgot.
It's good.
I just discovered it flipping through what's new on Netflix and Final Space. It's a cartoon. It's space. Okay. Mooncake. All right.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm only one episode in. I love it.
Oh, go.
I'm gonna.
It's good.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the big thing. Do you know a guy named Sir Patrick Stewart?
Yes, I'm familiar. He was recently knighted.
He was? He was in 1984's Dune.
He was a classic sci-fi movie.
Yes. He did other things too. Like he played Professor X in the X-Men films?
He did.
Mm-hmm. We should probably talk about his most iconic role as Captain Picard in Star Trek The Next Generation from 1987 to 1994, plus 4 movies.
Well, yeah.
Computer, establish a security code for access to all functions previously transferred to Bridge.
Some of the better movies, too.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Generations.
You do, eh?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's one of the few things that I was like, no, you people are wrong. This is great.
First Contact is the best of the 4, though.
I enjoy First Contact, but that Kirk and Picard together, that...
It's got a certain nostalgia to it.
It's the end of Kirk and Picard outliving him.
Yeah.
Showing Picard.
I was out saving the galaxy when your grandpa was still in diapers.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so Patrick Stewart is going to be reprising his role as Jean-Luc Picard in an upcoming series from CBS All Access.
It's fantastic.
This was the big SDCC Comic-Con news.
So, questions that we need to know that we don't have any information on.
They haven't got a story, they haven't got any scripts, they haven't done any production.
Are we in the dark timeline?
What do you mean?
Well, they have a darkness now in Discovery.
Right.
So are we dealing with the dark timeline that's branching off Discovery, or are we back into Next Generation territory?
16, 20 years after Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah, where it's bright and shiny and everybody's happy and working together well, and...
Well, that's the thing.
There's an actual counselor on board that can give people counseling so that there's not social problems in the group.
There's so many YouTube videos on people speculating, and all the...
We got nothing.
We got nothing. We don't know. Is it Captain Picard? Is it Admiral Picard?
It's got to be Admiral.
Is it Ambassador Picard? Is it Archaeologist Picard? Is it Vineyard Picard? We don't know.
So...
Is he married to Beverly? Have they been divorced already? Does he have Irmotic syndrome?
They never marry.
In the future timeline, that didn't exist, where he had that brain disease.
Yeah, that's the future timeline. That doesn't matter.
No.
Any future timeline doesn't matter because he changes the events by understanding the events.
Right. Yes. So we don't know. It's exciting. There's so much speculation. There's so many different things that I've seen. Nobody knows, and everybody is excited. Is he an ambassador? Is the Romulan planet still blowed up real good because of Star Trek 2009 movie where Spock went back in time?
So,
are they going to ignore that?
It's a timeline question.
What if they did Mirror Universe Picard?
I don't want to see a whole Mirror Universe show.
Because he says his character has been changed by the events that he's lived through.
Well, yeah, that's
as everybody does. Which
PTSD,
is
come on.
Because he was attacked by the Borg. And are they going to follow the canon from the countdown to the books, comic books? Are they going to take the novels as canon as well, where the Borg have been obliterated? Are they going to ignore the books? Are they going to ignore the comic books? We don't know. There's so many possibilities.
They're going to ignore the comics and they're going to ignore the books. That's standard. They're just going to go off of what television was. If they keep it... They got to keep it light.
What if he's Boothby, the new Boothby? What if he's the commandant of Starfleet Academy? What if he's the Federation president, Josh?
He's not going to be the Federation president.
Probably
not. He's too controversial. But I could see him being commandant, doing a whole Starfleet Academy thing as him in control.
Because they were talking about doing a Starfleet Academy series. What if they're one and the same?
That would be fantastic. Him being there, stepping down from
Captain.
command and just...
He runs
shaping the next minds.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep it light, though. You can't go all dark and brooding. And
I don't want it to be dark and brooding.
Exactly.
I've got my Star Trek Discovery for dark and brooding, although season 2 is supposed to be more about exploration and tying it into canon. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. I know you're excited about it.
Yeah.
You can't wait.
No.
You love Star Trek Discovery. You just have to finish watching the last 10 episodes.
Yeah, no.
Comes out on DVD in November.
Okay.
So I'll purchase it and come over here and we'll sit down and we'll binge watch 15 episodes.
You will come over here and we'll play Skeets.
Ooh, I don't like that idea at all, especially since I just spent, I don't know, $75 on season 1. I wouldn't do that though. I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
No, I'm not.
So yeah, this great news. Everybody agrees.
Yeah.
Or do they?
That's what you just told me before we started recording, that there's some kind of controversy.
So I heard about this because of the controversy.
The whole Patrick Stewart news, because you're not on social media of any kind, so you didn't get the news until you read the controversy.
That's exactly it.
And I hadn't heard of this controversy until you just told me.
So, the controversy is some people online are saying, you can't be excited about a Patrick Stewart Star Trek because you have Star Trek. You have Star Trek Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being excited about this main character, female black character that you should be excited about, you're excited about an old white guy, and that means you're racist.
But how does it mean that you're racist? Because you're excited about nostalgically seeing a guy from 30 years ago.
But we have Star Trek, and we have new Star Trek, and she's better. She's a minority character, and you can't be excited to have this old white guy, because that would mean you want old white guys instead of young black women.
Can't you be
excited for both? No, because that's not the way things work. You have to be excited about the thing that we're excited about, and you can't be excited about anything else, because that would make you racist.
Are you talking about Gatekeepers of Fandom, Josh?
I am!
I don't believe in Gatekeepers of Fandom. In fact, I was just listening to the Mission Log podcast where they were at San Diego Comic-Con, and they had a whole episode about it, about gatekeepers in fandom, and how some fans will test you to see your knowledge, and if you don't know a certain amount of things, then you're not a real fan. But as they say, if you like something, that means you're a fan. It doesn't matter your level of knowledge.
So, I'm one of those people that will, I know a lot about my shows.
Yeah.
That's because I like my shows, and I study my shows.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like the show, that's what required to become a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
After that, you can't be like, well, you're not a real fan. Because you get that a lot from people like,
You
well,
do.
I enjoy the show, except. And anytime the except is something they don't agree with, well, you're not a real fan.
Exactly, and that's incorrect.
Yeah.
So yeah, just, you like it. Like, when I think about my fandom for Star Trek, it's the thing out of all pop culture that I love the most. It's what I know the most, but I would say I'm 3/5 knowledge-wise. Like, I don't know the production dates, I don't necessarily know who directed what or the day it came out on. I know a lot of crap.
You have in-universe stuff, not ex-universe stuff.
Exactly, that's right. So, I know a good amount of stuff. I might not know all the classes of all the ships, or what the armament is, or how many torpedoes this is a standard complement, but I don't care either. If I cared about the minutia, I would learn it.
So, there's things that are never mentioned in the show that, like, if it's never mentioned in the show and it's in this technical manual that's on page 963 on that tiny little blurb here, if you use a magnifying glass, you can see that clearly there are 3 phase inhibitors in the front section, not 2. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
That's not a... You can watch... If you can watch the entire thing... I know people who have memorized the original series.
Yeah.
They can just spout all of the lines in a row.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes...
They're a fan.
Yeah.
They don't know the technical information.
Right.
The technical information never appears in the show.
So they don't look at the other stuff.
Exactly.
And I can quote stuff before the line comes out. I always get it wrong. I mess up a word or the order of the thing, but I get the general idea, and that's good enough for me. I don't care.
So
would you say I'm not a fan, Josh?
I would say that you're a fan because you enjoy the thing.
I enjoy the thing. Am I more of a fan because I have more collectibles than you? No. We're both fans. There doesn't have to be levels.
You are more of a fan in that you are more of a fan of that particular show. I am not, simply because it is not my primary show.
What is your primary show?
I am kind of spread out more.
Okay.
So, like, if you look at the things that I collect, it's really spread out.
Yeah.
You have a lot of things, and then you have a lot of Star Trek things, because you really like Star Trek.
Right, that's my main collection.
Yeah. I really enjoy Star Trek, but I'm less devoted to it than other shows. I'm more spread out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not a fan.
Exactly.
I enjoy the show, I watch the show, I know a lot about the show, I watch some extra information about it.
Right.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm more of a fan, Josh, because I have a Star Trek tattoo on my leg of a Vulcan pinup girl.
Yeah.
So that means I have it on my body, on my person, so I win.
So that's the problem, is people think,
exactly.
Well, by being more of a fan, I obviously am more important. Like, no.
No, it's not true. You like the thing? Great. You don't know when it came out? Who cares? You don't have a tattoo, you don't have a collectible, you don't need it.
So long as you enjoy the thing.
But
that matters.
But people are thinking that we're racist because we're excited about Picard, and maybe we're excited about Michael Burnham, but we're more excited about Picard because that's when we grew up nostalgically.
Because he's Picard.
Right, because it's friggin' Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. But look back to the earlier part of this episode. Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah.
I was excited.
Yeah.
Like, that's great stuff she's done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of hers.
Yes.
We can't say, well, that proves he's not racist. No, because that's not the way things work.
Right. Why do you have to be racist just because you like everything or nothing? Or something. Right. So this is the big controversy.
I think you're right. It's gatekeepers. People trying to say the fandom is what we say the fandom is.
What happened to IDIC? Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Let's all just get along.
The people that are saying this are generally not real fans. And I hate to say that after a whole big spiel.
Right.
But
what are they?
There are people who
trolls?
Basically trolls. People who get upset about anything so that they can be seen being upset. The whole virtual signaling thing that we talked about earlier.
It all ties in.
Yeah.
See, if we were comedians, this would be considered a callback.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a regular conversation, and therefore it's just referring back to the earlier part of the conversation, like a normal person.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a special name for it.
We don't.
No, because we're not narcissistic like comedians.
Yes, you're right. We are not narcissistic like comedians.
We have a podcast, and we put it out every week, but we're not narcissistic.
No, that's right.
And we name ourselves at the beginning of every episode just so that everybody knows this is my voice and this is your voice. And
that's right, because if this is the first time listening after 4.5 years of podcasting and they just happen to hear about Rusted Robot from a different podcast and they're like, you know what, that sounds interesting, I'm going to check it out.
Exactly.
If we just start talking, they don't know who we are.
Exactly. But we're clearly not narcissistic.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
But yeah, so it's a lot of people going, oh, well, I'm really outraged. Look at me. See how important I am and how everybody agrees with me? Go away. Make the show. If I like the show, I'll watch the show.
Right.
If I don't like the show, I'll bash it.
Clearly.
But I won't stop other people from watching it.
And why should you?
If you can enjoy the show,
mm-hmm.
I don't enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. We can argue about the merits of the show, mm-hmm. but I won't say that you're wrong for liking the show.
And I can say you're not wrong for not liking the show, because whatever, right? It's your personal preference. And for any new listeners, I happened to have loved Star Trek Discovery this past year. Josh stopped watching it after 5 episodes because he didn't care for it.
I stopped watching it after 3 episodes.
And I made you watch 2 more.
You said, no, watch 2 more. It clearly gets better. And then mud. It was just mud, and it's like, no, and you can't do this to me, and it's terrible, and it's bad.
See, and when I think about that, I know that you're still a fan of Star Trek. You're not a fan of Star Trek Discovery, perhaps, but...
And there's a thing that a lot of people don't get. You're right on that. And there's people that don't like the new Star Wars.
Right.
And people are like, well, you're not a real Star Wars fan then. Well, no, there was Star Wars before that, and I was a fan of that.
Right. It's the same thing when they remake something, and they said, oh, no, you're ruining my childhood. But you're not. You still have the old thing. The new thing is its own thing.
True, but there's the feel of, like, no, these are the characters that I love. Why are you doing this to them? And it's more of a sense of betrayal at the people that make the thing, rather than the actual content. Because I didn't mind the prequels. I didn't like the first one as much, but the second 2 were not bad. They had some good scenes, right? I never thought they were ruining my childhood.
No, because there's something new. And they're adding to it.
Younger people, well, this whole thing is Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing in a few years, most Star Wars fans will be like, ugh, the newest trilogy is terrible. The second it just gets better as you go further back in time. They're going to say that because that's the way they're going to be, because they're nerds and they rage and rage and rage.
Nerd Rage Incorporated.
Oncoming Storm. But young people will get into the shows, and maybe they'll like them.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the new Star Wars will be for them.
That's right, because the original trilogy is our Star Wars, because that's what we grew up with. The kids from the last 20 years grew up with the prequel trilogy. That's their Star Wars, and the other stuff's just old crap that our parents liked.
The only problem that I see on that front is you can't veer too far from what it is, or else you're going to lose those people, because you need to bring everybody along to build your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Can't start pushing people away, and that's people like, well, you're not a real fan, is pushing people away.
It is, because there's no reason for it. Let's just all get along. We like it to different degrees. So what? We're not racist because we're happy about Captain Picard. That makes no sense.
No.
When you told me that, I was like, I couldn't even wrap my mind around it, and I still can't.
Yeah,
because it's ridiculous.
How long did it take you to find the article? One of the articles.
Well, not very long.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that you mention it, but that's ridiculous. So I'm excited about Captain Picard returning in the next year or two, whenever they get it. I'm excited about
the tidbits of information coming out and all the speculation that's going to happen, because that's what nerds do. You give us a sentence and we will build an entire universe around it.
There's all kinds of YouTube channel things, people talking about, oh, this is what's going to happen, or this might happen, or we're excited because of this. The guy who runs CBS All Access actually stated that he wants there to be Star Trek on CBS All Access at all times. So there's always going to be something Star Trek running. Not necessarily 24/7.
Well, that's not how it's a streaming service, so that's not how it works.
No, but there's always going to be something playing. Right?
Something
it's
new
Discovery,
coming.
It's the Captain Picard series, it's a mini series, it's a movie. They just always want something to be there, so there's always Star Trek on.
Something feeding the beast all the time.
And I'm excited. I don't think it's oversaturation. As long as it's different stories.
Look at Marvel. So long as you make the stories good, people will keep pouring into it.
I could do this all day.
So long as it's good.
Yeah.
You'll never reach oversaturation if you're giving everybody what they want.
Yeah, I never understood that whole oversaturation thing. Like, they talk about Star Trek in the 90s being the golden age of Star Trek, when there was 3 series concurrently running. That wasn't too much for me. It was great. I loved it.
And everybody had their series that they were more invested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody was into Next Generation.
Yep.
And some people went right over to Deep Space Nine. And other people were like, I'm just going to stick with Next Generation. And then Voyager came, and then you're like, well, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to DS9 or do you want to go to Voyager? Because the Next Generation's ending.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, we gotta follow it to the end. We have no choice.
I watched everything.
Yeah. It was the golden age because it was good enough that everybody's like, yeah, it's still good. We're going to ride this train. Mm-hmm. The train didn't pick up speed, but it didn't slow down either.
Yeah.
Till it did.
Right.
And then it just slammed into a wall.
Yeah, and it all crashed, but whatever. So now that we've talked about gatekeeping and fandom and virtue signaling and not being racist because you like stuff, what do you think the new Captain Picard series is going to be about?
We have zero information. All we have is Captain Picard is back. Actually, no, we don't even have that. We have Picard is back.
Jean-Luc Picard. Yeah.
So we don't even know if it's Captain Picard. If he follows Kirk's advice, he's going to still be the captain of the Enterprise.
Captain of the Enterprise?
That's right.
Close to retirement?
I'm not planning on it.
Let me tell you something. Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.
That's right, because you never give up that chair.
Yeah. Did he go to Admiral? Did he go back? The Academy is the best bet for that. Or
I could see him as an ambassador to some...
Ambassador? It wouldn't work as a show.
I don't know. Maybe he'd be on his vineyard.
Shakedown cruise.
Yeah.
You get the education aspect of the Academy, but instead he's running a ship with young student cadets taking over the roles so that they can learn what to do.
Because you got to have exploration.
Yeah, teaching careers.
That's necessary, I think.
Because look at Wesley. He had practical on-the-job experience. What if they do a whole ship based on that?
Right.
The Academy as a ship rather than as a location.
That could do. Whatever they do, I think maybe not in the first season, maybe in the second season they'll start having guest stars. Like they'll have the Rikers or the Troys on the USS Titan coming to visit Picard. Maybe we'll see Wesley. Who knows?
Yeah, Wesley walked off into the universe, though.
But he appeared at the wedding in Star Trek Nemesis, so he came back. He never said anything, but he's there in the scene with Guinan.
Yeah, but he walked off into the universe, though. So.
But he could come back.
Yeah, he can come back.
Maybe he's done his traveling. We don't know.
Well, that's the whole point. He is a traveler now.
Exactly. So it's exciting.
The only thing is we're not going to see Q.
I don't know. What if it's Q and Picard as a buddy movie, TV series, and they're just going from random adventure to random adventure, and they're kind of like the Odd Couple. Could you see that? I could totally see that. I'm hoping though that he's had kids, so that the Picard line carries on, and they're all running the vineyard together, or something.
Was it ever confirmed if that kid was his kid or not?
Oh, with the Fringy and the mountain climbing? Yeah, it wasn't his kid.
It was always vague in that episode whether...
But it wasn't. Yeah. So no, Picard has no kids. But maybe he settled down with Nichelle from Star Trek Insurrection on the planet that you don't age on. And maybe that's why he still looks good.
Well, that and it's the Federation. They have advanced medical technology.
Right, exactly. The guy's, though, 78 years old.
Yeah,
so
he's looked like that since he was, 29?
Something like that. But you can hear it in his voice when he's on interviews that he's old. He's got that old gravelly man voice now that he didn't have before, which is kind of sad. It's like Logan, when he was in Logan, as old man Xavier. Are they going to do an old man Picard series where he's all decrepit? I don't know. I don't think they would do that. But there's so many options.
No, they're gonna make him a mentor figure. I think that's the best role for him, as a mentor figure, either to a single character or a small group of characters, or as a teacher figure.
Because he can't be running around doing action stuff. He's old.
No, he didn't do a lot of action stuff in the original.
In the movies, he did though.
Yeah, the movies though. That's the movies.
Action Picard.
Yeah, action Picard.
Kung Fu grip.
Yeah. I prefer my talky diplomatic Picard.
Yeah, and we don't know when it's coming out. I'm guessing 2020.
It's got to be soon. You can't push off too long on that.
No, he's up there. So so I'm hoping we get at least 4 seasons.
I think
10 episodes each, probably.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you can't have him as the main character all the time. Therein lies a problem. He can't do that shooting schedule. So that's why I'm thinking leaning towards a mentor role. That way we focus on his students more.
Yeah, that could be.
And then the students are brought up by Picard. We might even see his nephew.
Nephew died in the fire in Generations. That's why he wants to have more kids, or have kids, so that the Picard line continues.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why he was all sad. And he left the holodeck at the beginning of the movie.
Robert and Renee there burned to death in the fire.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. These things happen.
Captain, it's not all right.
I'd come to feel that Renee was as close as I would get to having a child of my own.
Your family history is very important to you, isn't it?
What? Oh, from being a small child, I can remember being told about the family line. The Picard who fought at Trafalgar. The Picard who won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. The Picards who settled the first Martian colonies. And when Robert married and he had his son,
You felt it was no longer your responsibility to carry on the family line.
Right. Yes. That's it, exactly.
I didn't catch that.
Renee and Robert died in the fire.
I didn't catch that.
And Troy comes in to see if he's okay, and he says, they died in the fire, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, oh, it's all right. She's like, no, it's not. Your kid died. Your nephew died. So...
I didn't catch that.
You need to watch that again.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it came out in 94.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I watched it a bunch, and I haven't watched a Star Trek movie in 3 years.
What?
Yeah, none of them.
Man, oh man. You're due.
Well, and the last one I watched was Beyond.
Huh. Did you watch it all?
Yeah, we went to the theater, remember?
We did go to the theater to see it. That's right. And then we talked about it the next day on the podcast. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
It was not good.
I liked it, and you didn't.
No.
That seems to be a theme that I like.
That space station was terribly designed.
That was a terrible space station, I admit it. Yeah. You know what? Speaking of Star Trek stuff, I am currently reading the authorized biography of Gene Roddenberry.
Oh, cool.
Came out in 94, and somehow I ended up with it. I've never read it before. It's a big, thick book.
Yeah.
Not just about Star Trek, all about his early life and his army days and all this stuff. There's footnotes in the thing, and I'm like, holy crap, this is thick. There's a lot of pages, but it's interesting. So,
you know the title and the author?
It's David Alexander.
Okay.
And it's the authorized biography of Gene Roddenberry.
Cool.
I can lend it to you once I've finished reading it.
That's a recommend?
So far, I'm maybe a tenth of the way in. It's thick.
Cool.
Thick and rich and meaty. So.
Have they met Majel yet?
They skip and they go back.
Oh, it's not chronological?
Mostly, but there's
flashes and
yeah, exactly.
You know this is coming, so we're going to throw a little bit of that in here.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
when you finish, you're going to have to give a book review on that.
I can do that.
All right.
All right. So I guess that is podcast 210.
I think so.
That was pretty good.
Well, the end kind of just went away from us and just started rolling on its own there.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think we got some important information out.
Seems like we missed something, though.
Like what?
I don't know.
We didn't get any emails.
You know what? I should ask Katie.
Ask her what?
We missed something, clearly. I got to ask Katie what it is.
Well, where is she? We can ask her right now.
She's at work.
Oh, crap. She's always at work. She's never on the podcast anymore. Where the heck is she? We should go there.
Oh, she's at Jump City. Oh, that's it. She's at Jump City.
Oh, the comic book shop at the 101 Mall.
Jump City. Timmins, Ontario, Canada.
38 Pine Street North, Timmins, Ontario.
In the Lower Concourse.
Yeah. Glass elevator, take left.
That is true. You're right. Yes. Kitty and Jump City.
Yeah.
It rhymes.
Yeah.
Check it out.
All right.
Okay, so that's good. All right, so so we'll be back again next week with some more exciting news. Probably.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Unless the sun explodes or something.
Unless.
Or a thermonuclear war.
Yeah. Unless we're dead, we'll be back next week to bring you more information. It'll be episode 211. Once again, listeners, thanks for stopping by. Check out the Soul Forge podcast. And remember, no one gets to tell you how to be a fan of something. This has been another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. You can contact us by emailing therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweeting us at therustedrobot. Visit our website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. And, if you would, please check us out and like us on Facebook. A 5-star review in iTunes is appreciated. The Rusted Robot Podcast was written, produced, scored, edited, engineered, and directed by Sean Vanderloo. Your co-host was Josh Montney. Don't forget to visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall and listen to our other show, the Soul Forge Podcast. Visit Sean on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
Wow, I am so excited. I figured that this was probably the day to announce to you what our next Star Trek series is going to be. If that's okay with you guys. Okay, good. But I actually don't feel entirely qualified to be the one to do it. So what I'd like to do is bring out a good friend to talk about the next one.
Well. And returned. Thank you. I have spent a lot of time recently watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, including episodes I'd never seen before, which was fun and exciting. And gradually it became clearer and clearer to me that the power of that show, the success of that show, the benefits that it gave. I have never, ever grown tired of hearing from people who stop me in the street or in a restaurant. Well, no, I don't like being interrupted while I'm eating. But who say to me, your show changed my life. Without Star Trek: The Next Generation, I might not be here. And that lies at the very center of what I have to tell you now. Jean-Luc Picard is back.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network.
Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.